YouTube. I'm Rodoc Wilson, welcoming you into my home, and I have a very semi-solemn thing to discuss today, which is seasonal depression, which to a lot of people is not a big deal. And yet, we have to remember that depression is depression. It is a life-altering state of mind. I spent the last 24 hours dealing with the feeling that someone was sitting on my chest and I couldn't get out of bed, lack of drive personally, misery, feeling of hopelessness. It's seasonal depression gets this idea that just because it's seasonal, it's not a big deal. But the reason they say it hits around winter is not just because of the weather. It's not just because of the cold and the lack of sunlight. This season, the season of holidays, the season of warmth for many people is actually a very dark time, a very grim time, because many of us have lost people we love. Many of us have lost people we love along this time of year. And because of that, because of what we feel, because of the pain that we feel, we're told, oh, it's just seasonal depression. However, we have to acknowledge that depression, it can be crippling. It can alter a normally very driven person to thinking of their life as hopeless. And there are few things worse than feeling hopeless. In fact, seasonal depression can affect suicide rates. It can affect a lot. And this is just my personal experience talking about this. I have felt the will to die, and it is not a easy thing to deal with. It is not something that you look at and go, "Oh, I'll be fine." It's something that comes along with depression because people, when they feel hopeless, when they feel distraught, when they don't have their drive, they are stuck in a loop of pain and sorrow. But I do want to emphasize that I have adopted a philosophy in my life, one that allows a beautiful kind of mindset where if you keep fighting, you keep acknowledging that it will pass. Depression must be beaten. It's something you have to keep fighting against, no matter how hard it is. Because when you beat depression, when you find what works for you, whether it's a dosage of medications or resiliency practices or yoga or whatever works, as long as it's healthy, we have to acknowledge that there's beauty in that, and that depression is a monster, but it can be beaten off. It can be scared off. Depression is not something that has to rule your life and dictate everything you do. I know it feels like it does, and it often does, but if you continue to fight, and I use the word fight because, for starters, a lot of people say I'm the victim of mental illness. I'm a victim. There's a difference between being a victim and a survivor. And I'm asking you to be a survivor. Because when you become a survivor, when you become someone who lives with depression but can function in their day-to-day life, can function in how we address the world, how we get up each day, and it takes immense amount of practice, you become more than just a victim. You become someone who's beaten something that has destroyed so many lives. You become someone who doesn't let the sadness, the sorrow, the pain, the misery beat you. You become something great. Not to say that a victim is awful, but if you stay in the victim state, you will be lost in the pain and you'll never get past it. Society dictates that victims are weak and sorrowful and they've gone through something horrible, but that doesn't mean that's what you have to be. Society is often wrong in how we view things, and it's often wrong because that collective doesn't understand our pain. But what I'm asking you to do in this video is look at your life, look at what is worth living for, and I promise you there is something. Because even in just the realm of seasonal depression, it hits hard, it hurts. But if you have friends, if you have hope, you can survive. I apologize for the noises that went off in this video, but I didn't want to stop because I really felt I was conveying a strong message. If you like this video, please come back for more videos like this. We will discuss these in greater detail and in more depth, but I wanted to send out a message of hope. So I will see you later, my people. Keep up what keeps you healthy, and I will see you in another video. Bye.